After 60, what her favorite position says about her secret desires. Most people think a favorite position is just about comfort, habit, or what works physically, but after 60 that assumption barely scratches the surface. Because by this stage of life, preference is rarely random. It's shaped by emotional history, trust levels, and the kind of closeness a woman truly longs for but may never describe out loud. What she gravitates toward in intimacy often reflects not just how she wants to move, but how she wants to feel while she's there. And that meaning is something many men completely overlook. Welcome back to my channel. It's Vernon again. In this video, I'm going to explore what a woman's favorite position after 60 can quietly reveal about her deeper desires, the emotional needs, boundaries, and longings that don't always make it into conversation. Before we dive in, be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. So let's begin uncovering how intimacy can say far more than it ever appears to on the surface. Number 1. She prefers spaces that allow eye contact. One of the most revealing preferences after 60 is when a woman consistently chooses positions that allow direct eye contact. This isn't accidental, and it's not just about romance. At this stage of life, eye contact during intimacy signals a deep need for emotion presence. She wants to feel connected, seen, and recognized, not just touched. For her, closeness begins in the eyes before it ever reaches the body. Women who prefer this often value reassurance and mutual awareness. Eye contact allows her to read your emotions, your attentiveness, and your intentions in real time. It tells her she isn't alone in the moment or being worked on from a distance. She wants intimacy to feel shared, not directional. This preference often comes from a desire to remain emotionally anchored while being fisty. Many women understand this through experience, not theory. They've lived long enough to know that bodies can be close while hearts remain distant, and that kind of intimacy leaves a hollow feeling afterward. Choosing positions that allow eye contact is her quiet way of guarding against that emptiness. Eye contact keeps the moment grounded. It slows everything down. It anchors intimacy in awareness rather than motion, and helps her feel that you are truly with her, not somewhere else in your mind. When a man meets that choice with calm presence, it changes everything. Staying engaged, maintaining connection, and resisting the urge to rush tells her she doesn't have to pull you back emotionally. She can relax instead of monitor. She feels held not just physically, but psychologically. That sense of being met without pressure or distraction reaches a deep place inside her. And when that level of trust forms, intimacy stops feeling guarded. It becomes something she can lean into fully. And once that emotional need is satisfied, her other desires begin to surface more freely. Which is why the next preference often reveals something just as important about how she wants to feel in intimacy. Number 2. She prefers spaces where she faces away. This choice is often misunderstood as emotional distance, but in reality it usually signals the opposite. At this stage of life, facing away can mean she trusts the moment enough to let go of watching, checking, and staying emotionally alert. That trust allows her to relax into sensation without guarding herself. For many women later in life, vulnerability no longer means being on display. It means having permission to let go. Facing away creates that permission. She doesn't have to monitor her expressions, her body, or your reactions. Her attention can finally stay inside her own body, where desire actually begins. That freedom is deeply intimate, even though it may look less emotional from the outside. This preference often appears when a woman wants desire to feel personal instead of performative. She's still sharing the experience, but in a way that protects her inner space. What she's really asking for is steadiness, a sense that you are there, grounded and emotionally present, without needing to constantly reassure or direct her. When you respond with calm attentiveness, instead of urgency or commentary, she's feeling supported rather than watched. Feeling quietly supported allows her to sink deeper into it. When desire is allowed to grow without pressure, It becomes more honest and more intense, because it's rooted in comfort, not self-consciousness. Now we move to the next preference becomes clearer because it reflects not how much she needs safety but how much control she's ready to explore within that safety. Number 3. She prefers sit where you hold her close. Another powerful signal after 60 is when a woman favors positions that allow her to be held close. Chest to back, bodies aligned or arms wrapped securely around her. This preference is less about intensity and more about containment. She wants to feel physically gathered, emotionally anchored and protected within the moment. At this stage of life, closeness often means reassurance. When a woman chooses to be held this way later in life, it's a quiet act of trust. Being physically gathered reduces her ability to stay visually alert. It asks her to surrender a bit of control and rely on your steadiness instead. That's not something she offers lightly after 60. It requires her to believe that your presence is calm, respectful, and reliable. Not demanding, not unpredictable. Many women crave this kind of closing most in connection. Not excitement for its own sake, but warmth that lasts. Not intensity, but emotional grounding. Being held allows her to feel enveloped without being overwhelmed. The difference matters. She wants containment, not pressure, support, not force. What she's responding to here is quiet strength. A man who can stay present without gripping, rushing, or losing awareness sends a powerful message of safety. When your arms feel steady and your pace remains even, her body begins to soften, her breathing slows, tension releases, and as her body relaxes, desire shifts from something that needs to be activated into something that naturally settles. Is you in that space? Intimacy stops feeling like an act and starts feeling like belonging. Which of these preferences do you think reveals the most about emotional closeness after 60? Share your thoughts in the comments, and her perspective may help someone else understand intimacy more deeply. This kind of closeness often opens the door to the next layer of intimacy that reflects not just safety or comfort, but her desire for mutual rhythm and emotional alignment. Number 4. She prefers posits that let her set the pace. This isn't about control in a confrontational sense. It's about agency. After a lifetime of adapting, accommodating, or keeping up, many women discover that desire feels safest when it unfolds on their own rhythm. When a woman chooses positions that allow her to set the pace later in life, it often comes from clarity, not caution. She has learned how quickly desire can be disrupted when timing is ignored. By staying connected to her own rhythm, she protects the moment from becoming rushed or mechanical. This choice tells you she trusts herself enough to guide the experience in a way that keeps her emotionally present. Setting the pace allows her to listen to subtle cues in her body, let changes in breathing, tension, or relaxation, without feeling pushed to keep up or perform. It gives her room to pause, reconnect, and continue when desire genuinely arises. Again, that sense of choice makes intimacy feel safe rather than scripted. What matters most in your response is patience when you follow her lead without commentary, pressure, or visible impatience. She feels respected at a deep level. She's being trusted. After 60, that trust carries a powerful charge. When a woman feels she can move at her own pace without losing closeness, her opening becomes more complete, emotionally and physically. If this perspective resonates with you, take a moment to like the video and allows these conversations to reach more people. When a woman feels she can safely guide the rhythm without losing connection, the final preference emerges. One that reveals not just how she wants to feel in the moment, but how deeply she's willing to open emotionally. Number 5. She prefers positions that feel familiar rather than novel. The final preference many men misunderstand after 60 is when a woman chooses positions that feel familiar, comforting, or emotionless. This isn't about losing curiosity. It's about grounding desire in something that feels safe and emotionally meaningful. After a long life of experiences, many women have learned this distinction through trial and reflection. Intimacy that demands constant adjustment, new roles, new expectations, new performances that often pulls them out of their bodies and into their heads. It turns closeness into something to manage rather than something to feel. Staying present becomes difficult when attention is spent on adapting true intimacy. For many women, later in life is whatever allows them to remain fully inside the moment. Familiarity supports that presence. It doesn't mean predictability or lack of desire. It means emotional safety. When her body knows the rhythm and her mind doesn't have to stay alert, she can relax. And in that relaxed state, desire becomes deeper and more sincere, because it isn't competing with uncertainty or self-monitoring. Familiarity gives her nervous system permission to soften. That familiarity allows her to focus on sensation and connection instead of mechanics. For her, desire deepens when she doesn't have to learn the moment. She can simply inhabit it. When a man responds by honoring that choice instead of trying to upgrade or reinvent the experience, she senses that intimacy with him isn't about novelty or performance, but about shared comfort. And after 60, that comfort doesn't dull desire. It stabilizes it, because when something feels emotionally familiar, a woman often feels safe enough to open even more deeply within it. At that point, intimacy stops being about variety and starts being about resonance, and that resonance often matters more than anything else. After 60, a woman's preferences in intimacy are rarely random. Whether she chooses eye contact, facing away, being held close, setting the pace, or leaning into what feels familiar, each choice reflects a deeper emotional language. These preferences relay, trusted, or grounded, far more than they reveal anything about technique. What many men overlook is that desire later in life is guided less by novelty and more by meaning. A woman chooses what keeps her present, what quiets self-consciousness, and what allows connection to unfold without pressure. When a man recognizes these signals and responds with patience instead of interpretation, the deeper truth is this. After 60, attraction grows where comfort and understanding meet. When intimacy allows her to stay emotionally present, desire doesn't need to be spark, it simply arrives. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might appreciate a deeper understanding of intimacy after 60, leave a comment with your thoughts or experiences, and subscribe to my channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss our future conversations about love, desire, and connection. I'm Vernon, and thank you for watching my video till now, and see you next time.